Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. And so today I'm just going to be opening up an oil filter. It was from a 2023 Mazda CX-5, and this one has had the 2.5 liter engine in it. And this vehicle is the first oil change service in which I did on it. And so I'm just going to open up the oil filter to inspect for any debris or particles, uh, metallic particles inside the oil filter. I'm just doing this for experimental purposes. And so I did make a video previously on a different vehicle in which I opened up the oil filter. It was on a 2024 Honda Accord hybrid, and this one had a 2 liter engine. And I will put the link on the screen for you guys to see if you want to watch that video. In closer to the end of the video, I opened up the Honda oil filter on that one. So if you want to see it, I'll post the link in the description and in the comments. So anyhow, I'm going to open this up now. This oil filter had uh, about roughly 8,200 kilometers. So it's pretty close to 8,000 kilometers for 5,000 miles. So I'm just going to open up the oil filter now. So now I'm just going to open up the oil filter, and and lately I've been working on some of the newer vehicles, and I'm curious to see on how much engine wear there is when the vehicle is new. So I'm just in the process of opening this up. At 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles is the proper oil change interval to go by. So I've seen people go over this mileage. I do not recommend to go beyond 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles or up to 6 months. I just have a plastic container over here to catch any of the oil that may be inside here. It's it's relatively dry. I don't see anything. So far, this seems to be a really good quality oil filter. I'm not an expert at the at dissecting the. I'm not an expert at the at all of these parts with the oil filter, but I'm just going to be doing a visual inspection and just having a look at it visually. And so the quality of this canister seems pretty good. It's pretty strong. There's it's a bypass valve that's on top of here. There's a small spring. It's a fairly strong spring. So I have to apply a considerable amount of force to push down on the spring. And then going to loosen the tool up. If you guys, if you want an oil filter, a cutter tool, just like this, I will post the link in the description and also in the comments section if you want one. So now I'm just having a look at the bottom piece. I guess this is the anti-drainback valve or seal that they have here. I don't know if there's an actual anti-drainback valve here, because this oil filter is mounted upwards like this. So I don't know if it's going to matter. So the oil filter is mounted against the engine like this. So I don't think the oil is going to go anywhere. So it's sitting upside down. So we have the bottom part, the base of the oil filter. It's a fairly pretty good quality oil filter. You have the holes for the oil to travel through. This piece here for the bypass valve, it pushes against the spring if it needs to bypass the oil, if it ever gets plugged up, or if there's no oil circulation on startup or something like that. And we have the rubber gasket. The rubber gasket here is the most important part of an oil filter, because this needs to seal against the engine and against the oil filter housing for thousands and thousands of kilometers or miles, whichever you go by. And typically the OEM, original equipment manufacturer, they on a majority of them, they have a special type of rubber seal, so that they don't come off easily when you remove the oil filter. So even by hand, it's very hard to take it off by hand. I'll have to use like a screwdriver to get the seal off. So these are the type of rubber seals at our best, because they don't get stuck onto the engine. So I know that some people they made a mistake when they install a new oil filter, and they don't see that the rubber gasket got caught onto the engine, and so you're still able to install a new oil filter. And if you do that after the oil change, the oil will leak out. So you need to be careful that you don't double gasket the the oil filter. So anyhow, I'm just going to continue off. So I'm just going to see if I can just pry on the seal here. These are the type of seals that are best. You don't usually see them uh, too often on the aftermarket filters, but just in recent times, I've seen some aftermarket filters. They have the a circular type of seal, so these seals are best. Uh, and what I mean is what I mean is that when you see over here, you see this one has like the circular type of the rubber seal. These ones are best because they don't come off easily. And the regular ones that you see, they come off easy. My hands are just are a bit slippery at the moment. These ones, they come off easily. The square type. I'm not sure on the name of this. This is the square type of seal. They come off easy. They come off easy compared to the other one. This I can just reinstall back. And sometimes when I have oil filters of this style, sometimes I just like to 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 slap my hand on the seal to make sure it's in all the way, because there are some of them are not seated all the way in when they are manufactured, so you need to be careful and watch out for that. You want to make sure it's seated all the way in. Now these types are hard to take off, so they don't get stuck onto the engine as easy. So these ones are the best ones usually, and on most uh, OEM manufacturers, uh, they have this style O-ring or rubber gasket. This one is a Purelator oil filter. Purelator just just recently uh, decided to go this route on having this type of O-ring or rubber seal. So anyhow, we are going to open this up. This is relatively a very high quality oil filter, and but the filtering capability here is less. You can see it's a very small oil filter. So I'm just gonna try to open this up by hand, see if I find anything. On the other previous oil filter that I inspected in my other video, I found a large amount of of, de- of debris and metallic particles. So I'm just gonna open this up now. It's difficult to open up by hand. So it's a really good quality oil filter. I might have to use like a set of pliers to open this up because it's really hard to open. Just trying to open up the pleats here. This piece of metal here is what closes up the oil filter. So I need to break that open without hurting myself. Trying to stand up, give myself some leverage to push down on this. Just trying to see if I have a screwdriver that's nearby on the workbench or table. This is the type of oil filter that you want to put on your vehicle. There's no question about it. This is a really good oil filter. Uh, I don't see too many of these around. So the filtering material is your typical, I guess, your typical standard pleat material. I see some pieces of metallic debris over here. It may be hard to see on camera, but there's some debris over here. I'm just gonna continue to open this up, and I'll give you guys a close up after that. Or maybe I should do that now as I'm opening up the oil filter. I'm just gonna open this up. I will have to admit that this is a very well constructed oil filter. Yeah, I don't typically see an oil filter uh, as well constructed like this. It's my first time seeing a very good oil filter that's like this. I know this is not your I know on some of the higher end oil filter that they have like a cellulose type of a filtering material. Just trying to open this up here. It's really difficult. I didn't mention about the heavy duty metal end caps on both sides. It's very well constructed, not flimsy at all. So this is a pretty good oil filter. Uh, Once again, I do see some metallic debris and particle uh, buildup, but that's normal on a new engine. There's gonna be more wear and tear on a newer engine than on an engine that's already broken in, because during the break-in procedure there will be a lot of wear and tear due to the like the piston rings and everything and components still needing to seat in properly when new. Just breaking these down into pieces because I'm not able to get it in all in one. I know I'm not opening this up the proper way, but just doing on the best I can here. And that's it. Once again, I'm not claiming to be an expert of any sort. I'm just doing a visual inspection here, and that's it. There's some metallic debris here, some green. It's like a greenish type of debris, metallic uh, material. Not sure on what that is. So there is a little bit of wear and tear in here. You can see a lot of metal. So this oil filter caught uh, quite a bit of it. I see some of the sparkling. You see a lot of the glittery and sparkling materials in here. There's quite a bit of debris from the wear and tear and the engine breaking. You can see all the shiny stuff. That's why I typically I recommend to change the oil in the oil filter at about between 1,000 and 2,000 kilometers, just to be on the safe side. See all of the metallic debris in here that the oil filter caught. Leave that here. Just having a closer look at it again. You can see some of the shiny stuff. The other oil filter I had from the other vehicle was a lot worse than this. And that's why it's imperative to change your oil uh, more frequently. You can see this small grain particles, shiny stuff, all the glittery and the shiny stuff. So the oil filter is doing a decent job at catching all of this. Well, even at 8,000 kilometers, still need to watch out and be careful. Now, I'm not sure if after this service, if the oil filter is gonna be, it's gonna have less of the metallic particles inside it. Yeah, forgot to mention about there's a piece of debris in here. It's pretty large, just as large as a piece of human hair. And that's quite a bit, but I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. This is what I'm expecting to see, especially when the engine is new. So that's it. If you want, you can change the oil a lot sooner than what the manufacturer states, and you shouldn't have any problems. Even at 8,000 kilometers, it's not too big of a deal because that's your standard oil change, basically 8,000 kilometers, up to 6 months, or 5,000 miles, on whichever you go by. That's your 8,000 kilometer, 5,000 mile oil change. This is the rest of the oil filter. I wasn't able to get every single piece off. It seems like it's glued down at the bottom. So this is a really good oil filter. I highly recommend this. I'm not sure who makes the Mazda oil filters. I think it's by Tokyo Roki Corporation Limited. It's a Japanese oil filter. It's made in Japan. I forgot to mention that I mentioned this in the oil change video that I previously made. So I forgot about that. It's a Japanese quality type oil filter, so you can't go wrong with these guys. So this is a extremely well made and constructed. I highly I recommend using these on your vehicles. There shouldn't be a problem. I would use these on my vehicles if I had access to it, but there's no point of me going to the dealership and paying a premium for an oil filter uh, like this. I just carry on what I carry in stock and just use that. So, so that's it. I'm just I think that's everything for the video. I'm not sure on what else to discuss about. So I'm just trying my best to just discuss about the aspects of the oil filter and just doing a visual inspection on this. I didn't see any really large pieces of debris or metallic debris compared to the other one that I inspected earlier in my other video that I will be posting here. And so I think that's everything for today. If you guys enjoyed this one, please don't forget to give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And just wanted to let you know if you guys if you guys have any video ideas on what you want me to make, please leave them in the comments. And see you guys next time. Have a nice day. Now, just for the sake of reference in comparison, this is your 16,000 kilometers or 10,000 miles oil change. And this is your 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles oil change. Just by looking at the color of the oil filter, you can tell this one is darker than this one, but I don't think you can go by that. But this is this is twice the mileage as the other one. This is a darker. This looks like a darker brown color. This is a lighter brown color, but it could be dependent on the filtering material and the color that they use on the pleats or the paper in whichever material they use. So I'm just I kept this just for the sake of experimental purposes, but can't really do a comparison, like a direct comparison, to know exactly on what's in here. The only way to find that out is to send it to an oil testing lab testing. I know that the Blackstone is one of the most common lab testing companies. So, but if by any chance I do get a chance to send these in for testing, I will do that, and maybe I can make a future video on that. But we will see. It won't be anytime soon because things have started to get a little busy for me on the personal side, and so I'll see on what happens in the near future. If anything, I will post a video on that.